If you're looking for one of those most exciting places to hang out in North Texas, you've got to check out Grandscape in the Colony. It's located just north of Plano, and there are multiple ways to get there. Pretty easy if you're on the north side of Dallas. It's about 35, maybe 40 minutes from the heart of downtown Dallas, but it's also worth the trip if you've never experienced it before. It's right off the Sam Rayburn Tollway, which is on the north side of Dallas. This place is way more than just shopping. It's one of those spots where you can show up with no real plan and still end up having a full day. So whether you're coming with a family or you're just meeting up with friends or you're just planning a date night, there's always something happening right there. My wife and I, we recently went on a date at the Puttery, which is like a chic, upscale, kind of creative mini golf course. And it's located right there in Grandscape. Each room has, a different theme for the course. And it also has, so many places to lounge on comfortable couches and just chill, even if you're not really into golf like that. They have a server that comes, takes your food order, your drink order while you play, and you can just chill in a really cool environment. And they also have an open air balcony that overlooks the lawn, so you can watch the events happening below, or you just have a bite to eat. So it's one of the first things that you notice when you go to Grandscape. When you get here though, everything is pretty much open. There isn't, your typical indoor mall setup. The entire place is built around a massive outdoor lawn, and that's really where everything centers around. So that's really where they host concerts, movie nights, fitness classes, festivals throughout the year, things like that. It gives the whole place more of a community feel instead of just somewhere to go to spend some money. So let's say you come out on a Saturday. You can start your day off by grabbing coffee or walking around. It's super easy to navigate, and everything is laid out, right there in front of you where you can explore without having to feel rushed. And then from there, you can do some shopping. If you like to do furniture shopping, you have Nebraska Furniture Mart there, which is honestly an experience in itself. And then you also have Scheels, which is part of a sporting goods store, and that's part attraction with interactive, sections inside. And then inside Scheels, which is really cool, they have a 65-foot indoor Ferris wheel that you can ride as much as you want. And so it picks you up so you can see the highest point in the store and basically everything around it. And it's just an interactive experience inside that store. Plus they have all the sporting goods stuff that you can think of. That's really the thing about Grandscape. You're not just walking around shopping. You've got things to actually do. You can go race at Andretti Indoor Karting and Games, which is a high-speed indoor go-karting place. They have an arcade plus virtual reality. So if you have kids, this is definitely a destination for them as well. You can host birthday parties or events, or there's just a lot in there to see. And then there's Cosm, which is, kind of on a completely different level. If you're a sports fanatic, you like sports, or you like watching different shows, then this place puts you inside of a massive LED dome, basically a dome where you can see the sports, and it looks like you're sitting courtside at a game, and the camera angles are a little bit different than what you see on TV. And their goal is to give you, like just a closer experience to the action. And it's one of those things you really have to experience to understand. One of the biggest reasons though people keep coming back is because of the events that they have at Grandscape. There's almost always something happening. My family, we recently went to a movie in the park where they had, a family movie that was playing on the big screen. And then off to the side, they had some kids that were kicking a soccer ball back and forth across the lawn. They had some other kids that were playing tag while their, parents sat on the lawn on a blanket, enjoyed some ice cream, enjoyed a snack. So it's just a destination spot to visit for the family without it being super expensive. You've got live concerts that they play on the lawn, tribute bands, themed nights, and a lot of it is really free. So, which is pretty rare for a setup like this. You don't have to pay for parking, and then you can just walk onto the lawn. During the week, you'll see things like outdoor fitness classes, live music, that gives you a more relaxed vibe. And then on weekends, it picks up with some bigger crowds, live performances, more of the high energy feel. And they also have things like watch parties for major games and sports. And then throughout the year, they'll have festivals, markets, different holiday events, community gatherings, and that really turn the place into a full destination area. One of the main draws though is definitely the food, where you have close to about 30 restaurants that are right there, just a stone's throw away from there. And it's a pretty good mix. So if you want Texas barbecue, you have Heart 8 Barbecue right across the parking lot from Nebraska Furniture Mart. So you can basically walk there if that's what you like to do. You're literally walking up to the pit and picking your food out right out from there. If you want something something with a little more energy, the Rustic has live music and big outdoor seating. And then if you want to just grab something quick, you can go to Velvet Taco or Perry's Pizzeria. So they're always easy options. And then if you're staying late, you have the Baked Bear, which is like a dessert spot. And so that's always a big hit. I really could spend about 10 minutes, maybe more, talking about all of the restaurants that are within walking distance from there. But you know, the best part about the food is the variety. You can grab a quick bite, you can sit down for a full meal, or you can just bounce around and try a few different places all in the same visit. And that really is what makes Grandscape. You can start with a day of shopping. You know, you hit an activity in the afternoon, you grab dinner, and then you end the night with live music or an event, you know, all without having to get back into your car. And you can have a lot of different experiences all at once. And it can be for an exhausting day if you don't plan it all right. So make sure you do a little planning before you go. During the day, though, it's more laid back and family friendly. And at night, it kind of shifts. The lights come on, music starts, patios fill up. You know, it turns into a much more lively scene at night. And it's one of the places where you can get both experiences in the same day. And if you're thinking about moving to the North Dallas area, this is one of those lifestyle spots that people talk about all the time. You know, being close to something like Grandscape means you always have something to do without having to drive all over DFW. It's a big reason why areas like the Colony, Frisco, Plano, you know, surrounding suburbs have gotten so popular. And at the end of the day, what makes this place really stand out is how everything comes together, and you don't have to travel very far in order to get it. You're not just coming there for one specific thing. You can shop, you can eat, you know, you can go do an activity, you can catch a live show and hang out on the lawn, you know, depending on what it is that you like, all those things without having to leave. So whether you're new to the area, visiting, or just looking for something different to do, Grandscape is definitely worth checking out. You really have to come experience it for yourself. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you at the next video.